Hi, everyone. This is John Burroughs. I'm the Ohio Beat Poet Laureate for 2019 to 2021. And since I've kind of canceled my events for this week due to COVID-19 concerns, I decided to start this new video series, which I've been contemplating for quite a while, entitled Rattle and Numb Live. Rattle and Numb is the title of my latest book, which was published by Venetian Spider Press. It's a collection of my select and new poems from 1992 to 2019. I think it's, probably my best work compiled. And I'm pretty proud of it. And they did a lovely job. The cover art by Emma Anderson. Oh, I love it. Anyway, the theme of this show is going to be I'm going to, in every episode, read one poem, then talk about that poem, whether it's its inspiration or whatever. I'm not sure what I'll talk about exactly yet, but, and then I'll read the poem one final time before signing off and see if it makes a difference, hearing the discussion and then hearing the poem again. I don't know. So the first poem from this book is entitled After Kao Ch'an. Kao Ch'an was a Chinese poet, and I read something of his and was inspired to write this in response. After Kao Ch'an. This fish aims upward, rises from cooling water like a fall lotus. So a couple things about this poem. It was written in 2011. I posted it on my blog, and then it appeared in 2012 in my Recycled Karma chapbook, Waterworks, which is now out of print. That chapbook, well, after it went out of print, it was republished by the Poets Haven in their archive series, and now that version is out of print as well, but it's in I tried to remember exactly what Kao Ch'an poem I had read that inspired this piece, and unfortunately, I cannot find it. I think the book that I read it in, I sold after I read it. I often do that. So I can't find it, and I can't find it online. I did find one piece by Kao Ch'an online and that references fishing, and it could be an inspiration for this poem, I guess. I'll read that to you. It's from a book of Chinese verse edited by A.R. Davis, and it's entitled Fisherman's Life by Kao Ch'an. The untamed waters persist for 1,000 years, but the untended flowers become naught in a single night. Nowadays, the vain world has grown too narrow. Can it compare with life in a fishing boat? That was Kao Ch'an. So one thing I'd like to point out in this poem is the paradox, something that is a common theme in most of my poetry. I mean, the whole there is no disharmony, so-called contradiction that plays mainly in my most known poem, John Cage, which I'm going to be reading in the second episode. But this theme really permeates most of my work. The looking at both sides, the having difficulty seeing one side as totally perfectly right and good and the other side is wrong. I mean, both can be true simultaneously. Like light can behave like a particle and like a wave simultaneously. even though a wave doesn't act like a particle and a particle doesn't act like a wave. And what I'm referring to in this poem, this fish aims upward, rises from cooling water like a fall, lotus. Rises like a fall. Which, I think is clever, but hopefully not obnoxiously clever. So yeah, that is the first poem in my Rattle and Numb book. You can find it anywhere good books are sold. Hopefully, your local independent bookstore, if they don't have it, will order it for you. And it's also available in several online expected outlets. Let me read the poem one more time before I let you go. And I thank you so much for listening. Hopefully, we'll have a more interesting discussion on longer poems in later episodes. But for now, after Kao Ch'an, this fish aims upward, rises from cooling water like a fall lotus.